It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Hi guys, welcome back to the travel plug. Today we are going to be talking about all things Paris. If you have ever wanted to travel to France, to go to Paris, but you don't know where to start, you don't know what to do, where to stay and things like that, you are in the right channel. If you have watched my two previous videos by now, you know how to book flights, you know how to travel locally, you know how to travel internationally, right? So now you have gotten your visa, you have bought your tickets, you have packed your luggage, your finances are in order, and you are ready to travel. And where are you going? You're going to Paris. So this is what I can advise you, right? If you are a first timer and you are going to Paris, depending on the airline you're traveling with, most probably you're going to be traveling with Air France. So if you are from South Africa, I don't know about other countries. In other countries, maybe you might travel with one airline and then you have to connect in another country to get to France, right? Even in South Africa, it's similar. Sometimes if you're not traveling with Air France, like for example, if you are traveling with United Arab Emirates, it means you don't have a choice. You have to connect in Dubai, get a layover, then get another flight to Paris, right? But if you're traveling with Air France, it's a direct flight from Johannesburg to Charles de Gaulle Airport. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. That's if you are going to Paris, right? When you get to Paris, when you get to France, you get to Paris, get to Charles de Gaulle Airport, the only way for you to get to Paris is by a train. There are other mode of transports, maybe like you can use maybe a meter taxi, but I think that's gonna be too expensive. Or I don't know if you can also use a bus. But the most convenient way for you to get to Paris is to travel by train, right? So guys, let me tell you about a mistake that I once made when I was in one of my trips to Paris. Because when I was still a student in the Czech Republic, whenever I wanted to travel to Paris, what I would do is that I would travel there by train, meaning it's an interstate train. I used to stay in this amazing city called Pardubice, right? So it was very convenient to get to France or to get to Paris because my train station, I could literally get a train from where I was staying, the town where I stayed. I could literally get a train from there to Paris. So in one of my trips to Paris, I actually went there by train, and then the other time I went there by bus. So my first time going to Paris by flight, guys, I almost got lost because you used to traveling by land, like by train or by bus. And then I had a friend of mine, actually my friend of mine was visiting, and she was lazy because when you're traveling by bus to Paris or when you're traveling by train, it's like here in South Africa, if you're traveling from Joburg to Cape Town, it's like an overnight bus. So you sit in the bus for hours and hours and hours. So she didn't want to sit in the bus for too long. And also because she was visiting me for like a few days, she didn't want to waste her time sitting on the bus traveling to Paris or sitting on a train traveling to Paris. So we decided to take flights because the flight is like I think it was about 2 hours at most. It's a 2-hour flight from Prague to France, right? To Charles de Gaulle Airport. So we decided to take a flight, and it was my first time taking a flight to Paris. So when we got there, I just thought that you just get on a train, and I like, that's why this channel, I feel like it's very important, because somebody could be watching this channel and they don't know where to start. Because with me, the biggest mistake I made is because, I've been to Paris more than once. So going there by plane is not gonna be an issue. So I didn't even do much research as to from the airport, how am I gonna get to town, right, to the city, because I just assumed that the airport was not too far from from Paris, because where I was coming from Prague. So in Prague, the airport in Prague, it's not too far from the city. And even when you are at the airport, each mode of transport from the airport in Prague is going straight to the city of Prague. So it does not matter, you won't get lost, because regardless of where it's going straight. It starts at the city. Even if the bus that is going somewhere else, it has to pass by the Prague city, right? So I don't know, I just assumed that with Paris it was the same. So we took a flight, we got to the airport, and we were at the airport. We decided to buy a ticket, and we got on the train. But funny enough, we got on the wrong train. I just assumed because it's a train from the airport. You see how like in South Africa we have a Gau train, right? And the Gau train from the airport, you know, it's gonna get somewhere where the people who are going to Sandton will switch and take a train to Sandton, and then the people who are going to Gauteng North, which is Pretoria side, will switch and do that. So I just assumed it was going to be like that, because right, it's the train from the airport, right? So we got on the train, and it's getting dark, because I remember it was winter at the time, and we took the flight around 3 in the afternoon, and when we got to Paris around 5, and it was starting to get dark, right? So okay, fine, we are in the train. But me being the European girl, because I was there for like, at the time when we visited Paris with my friend, I think it has been like 4 years while I was staying in Europe. So I acted like I was a local. Even if I didn't know things, I would act like I knew things, right? And I didn't want my friend to be scared or nervous, because she was the tourist and she was depending on me as the local in a way to kind of like know my situation. So if I acted like I was scared, or I didn't know where we are, or we were lost, she was also going to be stressed, right? So I could tell, we've been on this train for a very long time, and it doesn't seem like we're going to the city, right? Every stop, it's like the train, excuse me, like, yeah, no, the train was, you know, Paris is supposed to be this fancy town or whatever, but compared to the Gau train, our Gau train is like, yeah, it's top of the range. So the train is like a metro rail train. Yeah, it is like a metro rail train. Those who are South Africans will know what I'm talking about when I say the train from the airport in Paris is like a metro rail train, right? So every stop it stops, people are getting in, but hey, and I could notice that it seems like we are the only ones carrying big bags here in this train. I don't see other tourists, right? Until I got the guards to ask one of the, I think it was the security guards in the train. And I was like, and most of the thing, that's another thing, guys, that you need to know before you travel to other countries. You need to know what is the language that is most spoken. And if you know they don't speak English a lot, just try to learn a few basic words for you to be able to get around, or maybe travel with a dictionary. Because at the time, this thing of having an app for Google Translate or whatever, it was not as popular, right? But then I tried to ask the guy that, no, we're going to Paris, we're going to town, but it seems like we've been in this train for too long and we are not getting there and whatnot. And then the guy was speaking French, so he couldn't understand English. And I tried to make him understand as I could that we want to get to Paris, the city, right? And then that's when he was like, oh no, you should have taken train to Paris. So imagine, we arrived at the airport, and I'm thinking in my head, because we are in Paris, I just assumed that we are in Paris. But from the airport, if you want to go to town, to the city Paris, you need to take a train called Train to Paris. So I didn't even think you need to, because I thought we were in Paris. Why would I take a train to Paris when I'm in Paris? Like, do you get what I'm saying? So he was like, no, you were supposed to take a train to Paris, but don't worry. In the next stop, you can get off, and then you can get another train that is going to the other direction that will be able to get you to the city, right? So that's how I was able to learn that don't just assume things when you travel to these places. You need to do your research and make sure that when you get to the airport, how are you going to get to your hotel? Do you get what I'm saying? From the airport to the hotel, how are you going to get there? Don't figure it out when you were there, because you might be lost and you'll find that even the locals can't speak English, and now you are left stranded, right? So the next thing that I'm going to tell you about is places to stay in Paris. So if you are going to Paris for tourist purposes, you want to visit the Eiffel Tower, you want to visit the museum, you want to visit the Arc de Triomphe, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, you need to make sure that you stay in an area around Tour Eiffel. So Tour Eiffel is like an area where like all those especially the Eiffel Tower is situated. So if you are staying around Tour Eiffel, you kind of like have access to almost everything. Like you can literally walk to each tourist attraction. So one of the best places to find nice hotels to stay in, this app, I've been using it since I was a student, literally since I was a student, even to this day, regardless of which country I'm at, I always use this app to find accommodation, and it's very reliable. Go to booking.com and register. Download the app and then register your profile there. It's so easy to do. It's so easy. You just type your destination and it will recommend places to stay. And when it recommends places to stay for you, it even shows you that if you are staying in this hotel, let's say Paris, for example, it's like I stayed in this, the first time I stayed in this hotel called Hotel Cambron. It's a very nice hotel. It's not, I think it's like a 3 to 4 star. It's a very good, affordable, very nice hotel. The breakfast is very beautiful. So that's the only hotel that I think I've stayed there for more than 3 times. I always stay there. I stayed there once and I liked it, and I saw that it's close to almost everything and it's affordable, and I always stayed there, right? I'll try to put the link in the description box, and I'll also put the link for the booking.com website on the description box as well, guys, so that it can assist you with it. So what I like about booking.com is that the moment you type where you're going, it will give you a list of places where you can stay. Let's say you say Paris, right? It's gonna give you a list of places to stay in Paris, and then it can also ask you your price range, your accommodation. What is the restriction? You want accommodation between this much and this much, and then you choose. Once you have chosen that, it will ask you 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. You choose that, and then it will give you a list of available places. It can even ask you, do you want a hostel? Do you want an apartment? Do you want a hotel? Guest house, things like that. Gives you the list. After it gives you the list, right, before you select which one you want to book, you can open each individual hotel and check for the pictures. Look at the reviews, guys. Looking at the reviews, it's very, very important, because you are getting the idea of what the accommodation is like from somebody who has stayed there before. What kind of breakfast is it going to be served there? How was the staff? How did you enjoy staying there? So the reviews are very important, right? After you read the review, you can read the amenities, where it can tell you what is available at that hotel. You're gonna get a hairdryer, room service, things like that and whatnot. And it can even show you the list of the nearest tourist attraction. It will tell you, you are 500 meters from the Eiffel Tower. You are 1 kilometer from the Arc de Triomphe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Excuse my French. Like literally. It can tell you how far you are from the museum. It can, guys, there are so many beautiful, I can never really get tired of visiting Paris. I have not been there in almost 3 years now. And I feel like as soon as the corona situation is finished, I'm due for a trip there. Like, sightseeing is your thing. You can never really get tired of that. If creating nice content is your thing, in Paris, there's always something to do. If you like nice food, there is so much to do, guys. The hotel that I'm telling you about, when you stay there, right, you can walk to the Eiffel Tower. When you get to the Eiffel Tower, what happens in the tower is that you can like literally climb the tower from ground to above. You need to take a lift to a certain level, and then from that level, you can climb if you want to, or you can take the lift all the way to the top. And what I like about the tower itself, there's like literally everything in the tower. You can literally go to the tower, to the Eiffel Tower in the morning at whenever time they open, and you can stay there the whole day, because there's literally everything. There's like a mini, like a shopping mall where you can buy stuff, probably a lot of souvenirs and things like that. There's like nice restaurants there where you can buy like nice street food or whatever. Because I remember when I was with my friend, we took this elevator, right? There's an elevator, but you need to buy a ticket obviously for that, right? We took an elevator, and then we got off at a certain floor, and we found this other nice street food market kind of like thing, but on the Eiffel Tower itself, and we bought French fries. And I remember making a joke about how, friend, can you imagine we are climbing the Eiffel Tower in France, in Paris, while eating French fries? Like literally, you see what I did there? Yes. So because I was a student, I had an European student card. So with a European Union student card. So what happens with a European Union student card is that you get a lot of discounts on a lot of things. Even the flight that I'm telling you about that me and my friend bought to go to France, I got a student discount for that. When you enter some of the like, for example, the museum, and also where the paintings and the Mona Lisa is at and things like that. At the time as a student, I remember, I think I did not pay. If you show them your student card, I don't know if it applies for other students' card as well, but the European Union student card, you access it for free. So I don't know if, I don't even remember if we paid at that museum. I think we entered for free, right? So a lot of places you can access for free, and there's a lot of places you don't have to pay to enter. Like the Ark is the only place that I couldn't enter because I feel like we were so tired at that time because we walked a lot. And guys, the area that I'm telling you that you should stay, you won't even need transport. You can literally walk. At first, we used to take trains because we didn't, and the train ticket is not even that expensive. We used to take trains because we didn't know how far everything was from each other. But the hotel where you are staying, they are gonna give you a map. If you don't give it to you, you can even ask for it, and the map will even like show you the route on where, like, if you are at the Eiffel Tower, this is how far you are from the Ark. If you are at the Ark, this is how you are from the Museum Louvre. Excuse my French again. Yes, and I need to go back to Paris very soon. Like, you can really never get tired of it. So I hope this video was helpful for anyone who's thinking of visiting Paris anytime soon. And oh, another thing, if you are planning to visit Paris and then you also want to go to Germany and you want to go to Prague or other areas in the European Union, right? What I can advise you to do, because you have your Schengen visa and your Schengen visas allows you to visit all those places. What I can advise you to do is that fly to one city. Just fly to one city, right? If you fly to Paris and then take a train to Prague, take a train to Germany, take a train, like all these other areas or all these other countries around. Just take a train there. That is the best way to enjoy Europe, guys. By traveling by train, you know, guys, like, it's bringing back a lot of memories. So I really hope this video was helpful for you. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and come back for more. Bye. Ciao.